Today's lesson, 8.5, found on page 323 of your big book, is similar to the last couple of lessons in that we're going to be using our little algebra tiles. But this time we're going to be using them to solve multiplication equations rather than addition and subtraction. So, model and solve multiplication equations are essential questions. How can you use models to solve multiplication equations? And we're going to be using our algebra tiles. So one green X tile, it represents the variable, and then each one of these little 1 tiles represents the number 1. All right, here we go. To model an expression involving multiplication of a variable, you can use more than one X tile. For example, to model the expression for X, you can use 4 X tiles. So there's 4 X's there, hence the 4X. All right, here we go. Tennis balls are sold in cans of 3 tennis balls each. Daniel needs 15 tennis balls for a tournament. Model and solve the equation 3x equals 15 to find the number of cans X that Daniel should buy. All right, so they want us to draw 2 big rectangles on our board here. With equals in between, okay? So on one side, we're going to use algebra tiles to model the equation. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3 to represent the number of balls. There's 3 tennis balls in each can. Okay, and he needs 15. All right, so we have 3x in the left rectangle. We're going to model 15 in the second rectangle. Okay, so there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. Let's go this way. 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. All right, so I have 3x over here. 3x equals 15 over here. All right, so we need to find the value of one of these X tiles. That's our goal. We want to figure out what one of these green X tiles, what does that equal? Well, if we line them up perfectly with each of our, if we line up the little 1 tiles perfectly into equal groups next to each of our X tiles, okay, we end up with 1 X tile equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 X tiles equals 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 X tiles equals 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you can see each X tile, each one equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one tile, one of these green tiles equals 5. So the value of one X tile is 5. The trick is to line these up equally with each of the X tiles, which we'll continue to model as we go through this lesson. Okay, so let's get back to our little piece of paper here, our lesson. And we have, when the tiles on each side have been divided into 3 equal groups, how many 1 tiles are in each group on the right side? 5. Each X tile ended up with 5 1 tiles assigned to it. Write the solution of the equation X equals 5. 1X, 1 green tile, equals 5. So Daniel will buy 5 cans of tennis balls. All right, let's keep going with this. Here we go. So explain how you could use your model to check your solution. So how could we check our solution? Well, we could use algebra tiles to model the equation. Then replace each X tile with 5 1 tiles. If the solution is correct, both sides of the equation should have the same number of 1 tiles. Should have the same number, of, I'll put it over here, there's no room, 1 tiles. So in other words, if I had enough of these, which I don't, but if I had enough of these little manipulatives, I would be able to replace each of these green tiles with 5 1s and still have my 5 over here as well, so that we would have 15 equals 15 in the end. So 3 x's equals 15, so each x equals 5. I think that's maybe a little confusing so early on, but we'll get it. We will get it. We'll keep practicing until we understand. Okay. Describe how you could use algebra tiles to model this equation. Well, I would place, which is 6x equals 12, I would place 6x tiles on one side of the equation of our, well, we'll say the math board, of our math board that we were using before. I would put 6 of these green tiles on one side, and 12 of the yellow or 1 tiles on the other side. So I'd place 6 tiles on one side of the math board, and let's see, 12 1 tiles on the other. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, so I have, let's see, forget about this. We now have what? 6x equals 12. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these over here. I have, and then I would line up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's get them lined up directly across from each other. Okay, so each one of these has been assigned 1 so far, and I have 6. So 7, 8, and I need to get up to 12. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so I have 6 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 12 of these. So each one of these x tiles equals what? 2. This one gets 2, this one gets 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So in this equation, x equals 2 for our final answer. All right. What would you do to solve the equation 5x equals 35 without using a model? Okay, let's go back and see how we solved the other two. So initially we had, let's see, we had 3x equals 15. What do we notice about this? And our final solution was x equals 5. Well, if I divide both sides by 3, I would end up with 5, wouldn't I, for x equals 5. Our second equation was, what, 6x equals 12. If I divided both sides by 6, x would then equal 2. Isn't that exactly the same answers that we came out with using our models? So for this equation, 5x equals 35, without using a model, think about it. The number next to the variable you divide that into both sides and you find your solution. So I could divide both sides What's our number next to the variable? 5. So if I divided both sides by 5, I'd end up with x equals 7. Okay, we'll keep modeling. We'll understand this. We'll just keep modeling until we're absolutely certain we know this. Okay, here we go. You can solve multiplication problems by drawing a model. So if you don't have your little tiles with you, you can just draw it. Here we go. So first we're going to draw a model of the equation. We have, what is our equation? 2x equals 6. All right, so we're going to draw 2 x tiles equals 6. Now the trick is you assign one tile to each x tile until you've run out of tiles. So we're going to do it 6 times. 1, 2. Each one got 1. We're up to 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. If you assign a 1 tile to each x tile as you're sorting through this, it'll be real clear what x equals. Now we're going to divide each group, each side of the model into equal groups. So we're going to redraw. One, 2, 3, 5, 6. So we redrew the model a second time. So 1x equals, with this equation, 3. As you can see here. So now into, let's see, 2 equal groups. There is 1 rectangle on the left side. So we're going to draw the solution now. So 1 rectangle, because that's what we're solving for, is for x. So 1 rectangle equals 3, right? So there is 1 rectangle on the left side. there are 3 squares on the right side, so the solution of the equation 2x equals 6 is x equals 3. 1x equals 3. Okay, let's do one more together. I think we're starting to get it. Let's do one more of these. Okay, so we are going to, you can use algebra tiles. If you don't have them, you can draw them. So it's real simple. So we need 4 x's. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 16. Remember, we have to draw our ones vertically as we assign them to each x tile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so now we have 4x equals 16. What does each of these x, what does each x equal? 4. X equals 4 is our solution. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3 x tiles equals 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what does one x tile equal? X equals 4, and so on. I think you can do this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our notes. We have, okay, let's take a look here. Let's adjust. Here we go. So model and solve multiplication equations. Let's do this. Okay, so we have, this is an x tile, this is a 1 tile. First you write the equation, write the x tiles first, then write 1 tiles vertically to match the x tiles. Model the equation, which we have here. Solve. For every x tile, there are 5 1 tiles. Okay, here's a second example. 2x equals 2, 2 x's, 2 1's, so x equals 1. All right.